So the first component to really get to know is the planets. And they're like your buddies in Jyotish. One could say they're devatas. They're regarded as deities in India. They're also correlated with other deities, but they themselves are these beyond human, intelligent beings that can be successfully interacted with and sometimes negotiated with, because ideally, part of what you're doing in terms of learning Jyotish or getting a reading is getting more influence over your own circumstances, over your own body-mind complex and the circumstances in which it resides. So the so knowing the planets first is a good, understanding them well is a good thing to do. And their Light on Life by Hart Defoe and Robert Svoboda is a great reference manual. The chapter on grahas, the Sanskrit word for planets, can give you a wealth of information, which, if well studied, reveals who these beings are, or many, many aspects of their individual personalities. In essence, when we get to know a human, we're getting to know their personality, which tells us a lot about how they will respond to various stimuli. So planets are the same. They are, their weekday order is Sun rules Sunday, Moon rules Monday, Mars rules Tuesday, Mercury rules Wednesday, Jupiter rules Thursday, Venus rules Friday, Saturn rules Saturday. The nodes don't technically rule any days of the week, although people say that Ketu is the co-ruler with Mars of Tuesday and Rahu is the co-ruler of Saturn with Saturday, making those the two days governed by two malefic planets. The planets are broken down into this basic category of benefics and malefics. This can be deceptive in individual horoscopes, but as the general nature of the planets goes, Jupiter, Venus, the bright and waxing moon, and Mercury, when not influenced by a malefic, are benefics, and everyone else is a malefic planet, meaning that they tend to give suffering or hardship in human life, although this can vary tremendously in individual circumstance. Planets function both in their natural state and according to what they rule in an individual horoscope. So a naturally malefic planet can give almost entirely good results for an individual, and a naturally benefic planet can give almost entirely bad results for an individual, depending on house rulership. But nonetheless, they have this inherent character that's important to know and understand, and does operate in some contexts. So starting with the sun is a masculine, hot, fiery planet. And there are plenty of ancillary concepts in Vedic philosophy that are helpful to a good understanding of Jyotish, like Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, which are the three gunas, or the three governing qualities of life. So Sattva is governed by the color white. It has what's called Jnana Shakti, or the Shakti of knowledge, to it. It's characterized by balance, harmony, peace, goodness, etc. Rajas is characterized by the color red. It has Kriya Shakti, or the Shakti of action, and it's characterized by motion and transformation. Tamas has Dravya Shakti, or the Shakti of fixity. It's characterized by the color black, and it has the qualities of inertia, heaviness, slowness, persistence to it, fixity to it. So each planet, in addition to other things, has a certain guna ascribed to it, which also reveals different aspects of its nature. So the sun is a masculine, dry, hot, fiery, sattvic planet, sattva being a quality cultivated by most spiritual practitioners. Another interesting concept in Jyotish is that of mode of persuasion, which is probably worth an entire video on its own. Modes of persuasion, when you see that certain people's personalities are very influenced by a certain planet, you can, and you know which mode of persuasion which planet governs, you then know a lot about what will motivate that person to take action or not. So the mode of persuasion that the sun governs is punishment, meaning that the solar people tend to respond to punishment as a mode of persuasion. This is an unfortunate mode of persuasion. The sun is also it's characterized by the quality of independence. It's regal, so it's characterized by the quality of regality. It rules royal type of people. So people who are strongly influenced by the sun tend to have a taste for regal things, whatever those are. It's a fundamentally spiritual planet. One of the things it rules is temples. And there are lengthy lists of what planets rule that are very helpful in terms of really getting to know the planet. Much of those meanings have to be memorized in order to really know who that planet is. So, for instance, the sun rules quadrupeds, or four-legged creatures. That, in association with regality, the sun is particularly associated with horses, which were in the ancient days the domain of kings, basically, or of people with wealth. So those with the strong influence of the sun in the old days may be influenced by horses. In the new days, particularly Leos, which is the constellation the sun rules, they tend to have a taste for expensive automobiles, things with lots of horsepower, which, the automobile is the modern day horse. The sun rules palaces, which is a place where kings live, and by extension it can rule any house of government, because the White House is the palace of the United States, so it is governed by the sun, we could say. The sun rules expensive liqueurs. It rules certain kinds of exotic spices. It rules the color red, so anything that is red can be associated with the sun. But through learning this whole alphabet, or subsidiary meanings of the sun, one comes to get a good sense of the planet.